And catching these tiny fish happens after dusk, when they are attracted to the surface of the water by moonlight.
Buonasera, come va ragazzi?
So, as night falls, I hop on board fisherman Domenico's boat for an evening under the stars. Domenico uses modern sonar technology to track the anchovies, and then relies on a centuries-old way of fishing to land a catch.
So the small boat goes in and they're gonna put the light into the water to attract the anchovy.
These fishermen have a window of just 4 months between March and July when these waters are rich in anchovies. In one trip, they can haul up to 2,000 kilos of anchovies, which can net them up to 6,500 pounds.
So they got the 2 little boat with the lights shining into the water so the anchovies gets all excited. The net goes underneath, and with a little bit of luck, we're gonna pick them up. I really hope so.
Domenico's nets are dropped to depths of 100 meters, and the crew then use their years of expertise to decide when to haul the nets back up. Simple.
I can see anchovies, I can see anchovies. Chiudiamola però, così non si vede.
One successful catch.
We got anchovies!
And for these fishermen, the night is only just beginning. But for me, well, my job is to make sure this catch goes to the anchovy oil factory in Cetara in the morning. After a good night's sleep, I'm clocking in with oil producer Gennaro.
Gino, il processo in effetti è molto semplice.
His anchovy oil is still made using a 1,000-year-old recipe. The anchovies are cleaned by hand and placed in wooden barrels within layers of salt.
They put stones on top. The weight allows the water and the oil to separate from the anchovies, and this process takes 18 months. A little bit like wine. You just need to be patient, take your time, and eventually the flavor comes together.
Voilà.
I can see already some drip.
Ok.
Pronto?
Sì.
Vai.
Fantastic. Now you... Gino, devi provare. Una goccia.
So literally, he lets me try one drop. Not a teaspoon or anything, just one drop. Pronti?
Yes. Mamma mia.
Può.
Posso dirlo in dialetto? Adore mare, mocca a te.
You know, in a Neapolitan dialect, he told me exactly what I was feeling. Is slightly salty but yet sweet. This is unique.
Ok, please. Soprattutto.
Salute.
Cin.
Salute.
Yum, yum, yum. And with the sweet and salty anchovy dripping in hand, it's back to Cetara's beautiful harbor to create a dish that's a perfect starter, my twist on the classic Italian bruschetta.
I'm going to use all local ingredients. I mean, my Amalfi lemons, then I'm going to use anchovies from Cetara, and the tuna from the sea behind me. I'm going to prepare a tuna tartar with anchovy dripping. Now, what we need to do, you get some nice plum tomato. I'm using San Marzano tomato, but make sure if you can find the San Marzano that they plum. Don't use the round one because they're too watery.
Remove the pulp from the tomatoes, dice and place into a large bowl. For a little kick, I'm adding finely chopped red chilies. Then chopped spring onions, pitted black olives, and capers. To balance the flavors, I'm adding some roughly chopped flat leaf parsley.
My next ingredient, a typical Cetara ingredient, anchovies in olive oil. Don't chop them too fine because I want a little bit of texture. That's it, straight in. For my star ingredients, fresh tuna. I'm using the loin part of the tuna, but look at this. A little bit of fat going on, nice and sliced. This one, just roughly chop. If you cut them too much, they're gonna be all pulpy, the textures are gonna be good. Here, they're going to explode into your mouth. Now, like any Italian dressing, we keep it very simple. So, extra virgin goes in, like that. Then we're gonna put the zest of a lemon. Fantastic. That's done. And straight away, the juice of half lemon.
Don't be put off by the thoughts of eating raw fish. For me, this is the best way to try fresh tuna.
Now, I don't know if you realize, but I haven't put any salt in the tuna tartare because, remember, the anchovies are going to be salty, the capers are salty, the olives are salty. No salt, just keep mixing and serve it straight away.
Serve in chicory leaves, pile them with the tartare, and then arrange on a plate.
Nice. And if you want to do a nice bruschetta for your aperitivo, the only thing you have to do, get a bit of ciabatta. Grab a little bit of olive oil on the griddle pan so it's going to be nice and crispy. But my tip is this, get a garlic clove, peel it, and gently rub it on the bread. This is going to give you an extra kick. Pile the tuna tartare on top. Now for my secret ingredient, just before you serve it, anchovy dripping. That's it. And I'm gonna serve this one with white wine called Furore Bianco from the Amalfi coast. Fruity and floral, which is gonna complement the tuna. Fantastico.
From sea to plate, this superb starter sums up the spectacular simplicity of Amalfi coast cuisine. Salute! The spectacular ruins of the ancient city of Paestum. Originally a Greek colony called Poseidonia, by the 3rd century BC, it had become an important Roman trading post, and still standing proudly are these 3 beautifully preserved temples.
I used to come to Paestum when I was a little boy. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really appreciate all the history of my ancestors like I'm doing right now. This is just incredible.
To find out a little more about these incredible ruins, I'm meeting local expert Nicola.
You know, when people they come in the south of Italy and they want to see this kind of ruins, they usually go to Herculaneum or Pompeii. And I've just asked Nicola, why Paestum is different? And he said to me, you know, gee, people they come here to see something that is even older than Pompeii and Herculaneum.
Tutto il Mediterraneo arrivava qui in Paestum.
So from the sea, they used to get pretty much all their ingredients. Spices, extra virgin olive oil, wines. How cool is this? Right here, we are where the market used to be. I mean, they call it forum, but really it was a market. So all this cavity that you see is like having all little shops one after the other, like a big Camden Town market, I guess.
And if I were shopping at this ancient market, the one thing I would buy is Paestum's star ingredient, buffalo mozzarella. And what better place to showcase it than here?
I'm right in the middle of Paestum ruins, and I'm going to cook something that is very easy, very colorful, great for vegetarians, great for starters, great for main course. This is the ultimate minimum effort, maximum satisfaction dish. So it's aubergine stock with buffalo mozzarella, roasted peppers with infused oil. And right here is where we start.
Chop 1 aubergine into around 1 centimeter slices and then season with salt.
Okay, make sure you put olive oil in a frying pan and the oil must be hot. If the oil is not hot, the aubergine will suck up all the oil and they're gonna be disgusting.
Once the oil is hot, place all of the slices in and fry until both sides are golden brown.
Okay, so time now to make the infused oil. So what I go, I got some flat leaf parsley. You could use basil or a little bit of fresh mint. I got some fresh mint. I'm gonna add a couple of mint leaves. That's the beauty about Italian cooking. You can add and take away whatever you want, whatever you fancy. Straight into the bowl.
Then add 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika.
So that goes in there.
Add half teaspoon of salt.
Then I got some walnuts. You just crush it and it goes straight into the bowl.
You can chop the pieces if you prefer.
Walnuts is gonna give a nice crunchy texture. In there now, extra virgin olive oil. Pour it and stir it at the same time.
Do not scrape when it comes to the oil.
And the job is done. Just let it rest. This should be ready now. Oh yes, perfect. Now let me tell you something about aubergines. Whenever I talk to people about aubergines, they always say, oh, they're yucky, they're rubbery. Aubergines are perfect when you cook them well. They're soft and absolutely delicious. So give aubergine a chance, trust me. Let them rest on a plate. It's the time to cut the buffalo mozzarella. What you want to see is the milk coming out. So look at this. As I'm slicing, look at that. Look how you squeeze and the milk is coming out. Look at that. Incredible. It's like all the milk is covering my chopping boards. This is real fresh buffalo mozzarella. Put it back on your plates. The end bits, which is the best part of the mozzarella. This is the chef's perk.
Then, using a vegetable peeler, slice some parmesan.
That's it. That's more than enough. Let's put the stack together. First thing, we're gonna pour a slice of aubergine on the bottom, like that. On top of the aubergine, we're gonna pour a little bit of shaved parmesan. Then we got some roasted peppers, okay? So the pepper. Then you get your mozzarella. So 2 little slices of mozzarella. And then we're just gonna put a little bit of the dressing. Just like that. Now we have to repeat all over again. Roasted peppers. Then a few more slices of mozzarella on top.
And to really enhance the flavors,
Okay, now the last touch I'm gonna put, I got a little bit of balsamic glaze. Just all around. This is gonna give a nice sweetness to the dish and it's gonna balance really well with the smoked paprika. Did I not say to you that this is gonna look amazing? Look at that.
iconic for rolling hills, lush green vineyard, and cypress tree-lined roads. Classic Tuscany is picture perfect. However, I want to get off the beaten track and explore a part of the 250-mile Tuscan coast that's a bit more rough and ready. I'm off to the region's southern shores to uncover an area called Maremma. This rugged coastal region with narrow wild beaches backing onto dusty flat plains is Italy's version of the Wild West. Complete with the country's only cowboys, Butteri. For centuries they have worked this land, taming feral Maremmano horses to ride and driving wild long-horned Maremmana cattle, known for their flavorful meats. Over generations, the number of Butteri have declined, and today the handful who are left are tasked with keeping this Tuscan tradition alive. So it's a privilege to be invited to the ranch of Buttero Gino and his experienced hand Ilaria.
500 years of tradition that they're trying to keep alive, and they're worried the new kids, they will not become buttery. E quando è che hai iniziato?
Io ho iniziato da bambina perché la passione del cavallo è sempre stata fin da bambina.
She started to be a butterer because she had a huge passion of horses when she was a little girl. And this is, for her, is the natural job to do. What's with the stick?
Questo si chiama uncino.
Uncino.
Sì.
So this is called the third arm of the buttero.
These buttery also wear grey velvet waistcoats, which I'm not wearing because
To get a waistcoat, you need to be a qualified buttero, and at the moment, I'm not. So he said, unless you're gonna learn exactly what to do, you're never gonna be a buttero. I'm ready for this challenge. Come on.
And just like that, Buttero Gino presents me with my initiation test.
I'm really looking forward because I always see those cowboys doing in America, and I have no idea how to do it. Ready?
But as Buttero Gino shows me, instead of whirling it overhead like the Americans, the Italians throw it underarm.
With all the modern technology, I'm sure there is modern way of doing it. And he says, well, then the tradition will not keep. And Tuscany is all about tradition. Oh! Oh! This time I'm going to pretend that I'm calling one of my children, which they never answered to me anyway. Por! So close. I'm confident I'm gonna get this. Oh! Yes!
Perfetto.
Now, can I be a cowboy?
Next, I'm back in the saddle, becoming the cool, sleek cowboy I always dreamed I could be.
Shh. No, don't give me this silenzio.
Almost.
This horse is a shamble.
The buttery need to drive cattle across the land and into paddocks in search of fresh feed.
Move!
So my next test is to get these cows into a new pen.
I think I was born to be a cowboy.
Being with a buttery and experiencing a slice of elusive Tuscan life has been a privilege. With all this horsing around, I've worked up an appetite. And only here on the Mediterranean coast would you find a ranch right by the beach. So that's where I'm going.
What an incredible experience I had today with those cowboys. You know what really inspired me to do a barbecue on the beach? When I used to live in Italy, I used to do a barbecue on the beach at least once a month.
So tonight I'm serving marinated pork ribs, chops and sausages. To start, get the spicy beans on the go.
The first thing I did, I got some red onions, which I'm sweating down with some olive oil. Very simple. You know that they're ready because they get all nice and soft. In there straight away I'm going to add borlotti beans. Just drain the brine and put them straight into the pot. I like this one. It reminds me when I used to watch Western movie, they always have beans. The only thing is you have to cook them slowly. So mix everything together.
Now go in with some chili powder and paprika. Then a couple of glugs of red wine.
Remember, the beans are already cooked, so really what I'm doing, I'm warming them up and giving them extra flavor.
And finish off with some fresh oregano.
So put them on the side like that, and don't forget to stir from time to time. Now, for the meat, I got sausages, I got pork chop, I got rib. When you buy ribs, make sure that they got a lot of fat on it, so then when you put them on the barbecue, the fat is gonna go into the coal, into the wood, and it's gonna get a fantastic flavor. Now, for the marinade for the meat, I want to do the proper Italian way.
Start with some olive oil, add a glug of balsamic vinegar, then a good splash of red wine. Drizzle in some running honey to make your meat sticky and sweet. Finish off with some more paprika and chili and season with salt. I'm also gonna put a touch of whiskey. Why not? I'm drinking it, so if it's good for me to drink, I'm sure the meat would mind. Not too much. Now, at this point, you get your hands in and just make sure that each piece of meat get well coated. Look, there is not a science into this. You don't need to be, the best chef in the world. You just need to love food to be able to do a barbecue like this. Ideally, leave the meat to marinate for 4 to 5 hours, but just 30 minutes will still do the business. Time to get barbecuing, and of course, you can always do this on a griddle instead. Look at that fire, that is really hot. Okay, now let's start with things that they're gonna take longer, like the ribs. Look at these bad boys here. So these are gonna go straight in. Now, a mistake that a lot of people make, once they put the meat on the barbecue, they always move the meat around. Men, I have to say, are the worst one. My tip is very simple. Leave it there. You only move it once, maybe twice. The more time you move the meat, the moisture comes out and it gets really dry. Add the rest of the meat to the grill, and in under 10 minutes, my barbecue is ready. And as there is plenty of food, the crew tuck in. As we enjoy the delicious platter, I can't help but think, what better way to round off a day in the saddle? A beach barbecue on these beautiful Tuscan coasts. Salute!